Ever since the original Modern Warfare 2 of 2009, the nuke in Call of Duty has always been a very prestigious challenge. In almost every Call of Duty, you'd had to get 25 gun kills or 30 gun kills in a row without dying to finally end your opponent's misery and win the game for your team. And with most of these Call of Duties, when you call in the nuke, you actually ended up getting a calling card or an emblem or some type of reward to signify that you have gotten a nuke before. Modern Warfare 2 in 2022/2023 did not have such a reward until the most recent update. With the Season 3 Reloaded update, they finally added MGB, which is the nuke for Modern Warfare 2, Mastery Challenges, where in order to get all the MGB Mastery Calling Cards, you first have to call in your first MGB nuke to get the Blasted Calling Card, 3 MGB nukes to get the Testing Limits, 5 MGB nukes to get the Nuke Happens Calling Card, and 10 MGB nukes to get the Cloudy Day. And once you call in that 10th MGB, you also get the full MGB Mastery Calling Card known as No Escape. And these calling cards are absolutely beautiful for being put into the game 6 months later. As you guys saw, I have every single MGB calling card, making me an MGB Master. And I was thinking, since I have some pretty decent stats, over 760 MGB nukes, including a nuke with every single gun in the game of Modern Warfare 2, and you guys have endless comments asking for tips, I thought that I, Hero, would give you guys an in-depth guide on how to get your first MGB nuke, be more consistent with getting MGB nukes, and essentially giving you my mindset as to how I play the game so you can get better at the game, and you can potentially drop your first MGB nuke or 10, so you guys can at least have one of these MGB nuke calling cards. If you guys are excited for all of this, make sure you guys drop a like in the video, subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and if you guys want me to do more future videos of me doing in-depth tips like this in the future, make sure you guys get this video to 10,000 likes. There's a lot to cover in this video, and I'm even going to give you guys a gameplay breakdown. So without further ado, let's get on with the tips and tricks. Now, before even being in a game and teaching you guys how to play the game, you have to be prepared when it comes to playing the game, of course. So we're going to go ahead and look at our kill streaks real quick before you look at our loadout. So when it comes to kill streaks, when it comes to dropping your first MGB nuke, the best kill streaks, in my opinion, to run are the UAV, because once you get that first UAV, you're able to see the opponent's, red dots on the mini-map as they shoot an unsuppressed gun, which is amazing. Or if they don't have ghosts, this will allow you to know where enemies are at, and you can track them down quicker, allowing you to get your next set of streaks a lot more efficiently and faster. For the second kill streak, I like running the Overwatch Helo. Some people prefer the VTOL jet, but personally the Overwatch Helo is a lot more effective for me, because not only is it sort of a distraction for enemies to shoot at, but the Overwatch Helo also marks enemies, pings enemies as it's in the air, and sometimes it'll kill them, but sometimes it can't get to a certain enemy, so it's going to ping it for you to be aware of where they're spawning or where the general area of enemies are. So this Overwatch Helo really comes in clutch as a mini UAV in a sense, and also being an overall distraction for your enemies, so that you can obviously shoot your enemies down and while they're shooting this helicopter down and get onto your last streak. And for the third streak that you absolutely must have if you're trying to get your first MGB nuke is the Advanced UAV. This is an orbital UAV that reveals the real-time location of the enemy's direction. You'll see the enemies appear as like red Dorito chip, nacho chips, I guess you could say, if you want to compare it that way, where you can see where they're moving in real time as they're moving, except when they have ghosts. If they have ghosts, they're going to appear as regular red dots, which is still easy to track down. And when you have the Advanced UAV up, this is when you gotta prioritize. You gotta be smart with your rushing, but get as many kills as possible, because the Advanced UAV lasts around 50 to 60 seconds. And if you can get as many kills as possible, you can go from 12 kills to 25 to 26, 27, maybe even get to your 30th kill, which is the MGB that you need to get. Maybe even get to 30 where you get your MGB nuke. And keep in mind, only kills from your gun matter when it comes to going for the MGB nuke. If you try to get kill streak kills, they just won't count. You got to get kills with your gun, your grenades, or whatever the case is. And those are my 3 favorite kill streaks to run when it comes to getting MGB nukes. An alternative to the Overwatch Helo that you can run is, if you don't want to run the Overwatch Helo, you can also run the counter UAV. They can scramble the enemy's UAV, and that way you just have all non-lethal kill streaks. But I personally just love the Overwatch Helo, or you can even run the VTOL jet, because the VTOL jet can kind of serve as a distraction as well, like the Overwatch Helo. but it just won't ping the enemies for you, which is why I like the Overwatch Helo more. So use whatever kill streaks you want, but those are my recommended. Now, the other thing that matters when you're trying to get your first MGB is your loadout. Make sure you're using a loadout that is pretty much comfortable and ready for any sort of situation that you put yourself in. And obviously, some guns are better than others on certain maps. So you got to think about, what map are you playing? Is it a close quarters map? Make sure you're running like an SMG. Is it a longer range map? Make sure you're running a sort of AR in a sense. Is it somewhere in the middle? Make sure you're running sort of like an SMG AR hybrid type of build in order to succeed. And obviously on my channel, I have all sorts. I have a nuke with every gun in the game, so I have a class setup with every gun in the game. Even class setups with LMGs/snipers that I haven't uploaded in months, those class setups still hold up today if you want to look for them. But if you were to ask me for my personal preference in weaponry, I really like using the TAC 56 AR is amazing for longer range maps and even short range maps because it's so versatile with my build. Same with the M4, same with the Kastov 762. I also am very comfortable with the 74U, but this is more like an SMG AR instead of like a whole-on AR. So I can use the 74U extensively on any map in the game. Like literally, you give me a 74U and I'm most likely nuking almost any game personally, just because it's a gun I'm really comfortable with and it's suited for almost any map in the game. And there's a similar case for the Chimera. The Chimera is my highest KD gun at like a 9. The 74U is like an 8 KD. But if you give me the Chimera, you give me any map in the game, I am pretty much ready to nuke because it's also an SMG AR hybrid. It has the movement of an SMG, the speed of an SMG, and it also has the long distance capabilities of an AR, which is also the same for the Kastov 74U with my builds in specific. So those are my two favorite guns. Like if I wasn't a content creator, I'd probably be using the 74U or the Chimera all day, just dropping MGBs, because that's what I enjoy doing. The M13B is amazing as well for those longer range kills. ISO Hemlock is pretty much a longer range beast. And then when it comes to SMGs, I love the Vel 46. I love the Lockman sub, but I have more of a preference for the Vel 46 because it's more SMG AR hybrid-like than most of these other SMGs. It can have some range, and it's really easy to control in terms of recoil. The Vaznev 9K is more of a very well-suited SMG, but it does have some longer range capabilities, but the Vel 46 is better at range than the Vaznev in my eyes. So using this in more close quarter situations will give you more of a guaranteed nuke. The Ephesus Hurricane is more of a long range beast, but it kind of sucks short range, so you don't want to use it like an SMG in that sense. The mini bag, it's more for close range situations. You can use it at long range, but you're better off with the Vel 46 in that sense. The BAS-P did get buffed recently. I haven't used it too much, but I think it's still going to be more effective in like sort of short to medium range situations. And then the Fennec is definitely a short range beast. Like if you're running shipment, the Fennec should be like your best bet. But you know, those are just examples of guns that I love using. If you guys need class setups, I've got class setups all over the channel. You know, pretty much I have the same premise as you guys can see. Nothing changes except for the primary. So let's go ahead and look at the general loadout. For my secondary, I almost extensively now just use the P890s, because with the Akimbo P890s, with these attachments in Pacific, and with the tunes that I'm going to show you guys obviously right now, you know, copy them now. I'm not really going to explain them too much in detail. But with the Akimbo P890s, with these, you know, stats and attachments in mind, they're able to one-shot in Akimbo form, which is just insane. I just shoot them twice, and they're able to one-shot, at least in short distances. Obviously, if you extend your range, the P890s are the best, and at that point, you might as well just run like an F-Tac Siege or something. And I did make a video on that, by the way, so make sure you guys check that out if you need to check that out. But the P890s, they really come in clutch for those close range situations, in case I run out of ammo with my primary or whatever the case is, or I'm in the middle of a reload and I need to switch to a secondary. So the Akimbo P890s, they're just really powerful. The reason why I use stim shots is because being healed up before going into a gunfight is so important. Because imagine you finish a gunfight, right? And you're only at half health. If you're trying to engage somebody immediately after that first gunfight, you are already down in that gunfight and you're giving yourself a disadvantage. So you want to be ready for the next gunfight. Make sure you heal yourself either through quick fix or through the stim shot. And being at full health going into your next engagement and thinking about things that way will allow you to stay alive longer and win more gunfights. So that's why we want to run the stim shot. It keeps me alive longer. I'm able to get into more gunfights continuously and, you know, get those kills immediately to get that MGB nuke. We also have the lethal of the drill charge just for those pesky campers. Honestly, this is more personal preference. You can run proximity mines if you want to. They're kind of newbie though. I don't like people using them. Frag grenades is for random, nade throws. Semtex is for certain, ride shield situations. Same with the drill charges. You can do the same thing there. Same with the Molotovs. They all have sort of their own sort of, specialties, but I just like the drill charge because you can throw it through the wall, through the roof for campers and body them. For the perk package, I typically love using this perk package right here, a Scavenger, Bomb Squad, Fast Hands, and Quick Fix. Before, I did use Tracker over Bomb Squad, but people have been rocking RPGs lately, nades have been annoying, so I'd rather be able to survive those than know the potential location of my enemies. And then sometimes I'll switch Quick Fix at the end there to Ghost, because Ghost is such a very nice niche perk, especially if enemies are running a lot of UAVs. But I'd say Quick Fix is the most overpowered perk here, because after you finish an engagement, you immediately get healed, and you don't have to use that stim shot, which is super, super strong. So you can immediately go from one gunfight to the next, to the next, to the next, and get that nuke, get those kill streaks up a lot faster, and really take advantage. Scavenger, just because you need the ammo. Ammo is not that plentiful, and you'd rather use your own loadout than using somebody else's loadout that you might be unfamiliar with. And then Fast Hands, getting back into the action fast. As you can see, my classes are more geared towards getting that nuke as quick as possible, especially with that advanced UAV with such a limited window. Because when you have that advanced UAV, you know where everybody is at, and you got to take advantage of that in order to get your nuke. So yeah, that would be my preferred perk packages. You could obviously use whatever perks you want, but I see the optimization of seeing these as the 4 best perks in the game and winning my gunfights and getting the nukes more consistently that way. For my field upgrades, I got Dead Silence so that I can, obviously sneak around the map if I need to, but more than often than not, I just use the ammunitions box because I always run out of ammo, even with Scavenger, which is super annoying. So I just run the ammunitions box to get more ammo, get my drill charge, recharge, and stim shots or whatever the case is, so I can go back into action and continue stacking up kills with my own loadouts, which is always key. Once you've chosen a loadout that you're really comfortable with, personally, I love the TAC 56, the 74U, the Kastov 762, the Vel 46, the M4 is really great as well. I love a lot of these guns. Those are probably like some of my top 5 right there. But once you choose a loadout that you're kind of comfortable with, next is kind of, is going into the game mode. I would prefer, personally, I love playing Headquarters and Hardpoint because they last the longest out of any of these modes, and these spawns are a little bit more easier to predict. Some people love Domination, but I feel like Domination within Infinity Ward games, they end too quickly, and the spawns aren't as obvious and they flip a lot. But with Headquarters and Hardpoint, there's one singular point that needs to be contested, and so you can kind of guesstimate from the minimap where your enemies are going to be at. Kill confirmed is trash because people just camp the tags. TDM and free-for-all can be very trash because people just camp in general. They don't need to move to an objective. When it comes to control is all right. I just feel like the games don't give you enough lives, or the game doesn't give you enough lives to get a nuke in, and then the rest of these don't matter. But Hardpoint or Headquarters are your best bet for getting MGB nukes because they last the longest, like I said before. And sometimes you need all 15 minutes to try and, drop that MGB nuke. Obviously, there is the option of Shipment 24/7, which is also very effective, but I don't want to do a gameplay breakdown on Shipment because with Shipment, it's more of a reactionary measure. There is no strategy involved when it comes to Shipment. I mean, there is some strategy, but the strategy isn't skillful enough for me to do a full gameplay breakdown on, because essentially what I do on Shipment is just play my luck, kind of know where the spawns are at, but you have to be very reactionary when it comes to the spawns. I can't really break that down. And basically when I get the advanced UAV, I basically have the nuke because I know immediately where people are spawning. It's the smallest map in the game, so I'm taking full advantage of those 60 to 50 seconds, how long it takes the advanced UAV to be up, and getting those rest of those 20 kills as fast as possible so I can get up to kill 30 and get that MGB and nuke. I'm not going to do a gameplay breakdown on Shipment. You can try and get your first nuke on Shipment. It's really not that hard once you have the advanced UAV, but you have to be very wary of the inconsistent spawn locations on Shipment, which is why I don't like, breaking down Shipment gameplays to try and teach you guys how to get an MGB nuke. So yeah, I think that's all I got to talk about. We talked about, loadouts that you got to be comfortable with. And like I said, if you need a loadout, just look all over my channel. The best kill streaks to use to get that MGB nuke, and then obviously the game modes that you should, play, which are essentially the longer mode game modes like Headquarters and Hardpoint. So with all that being said, Let me go ahead and boot up this gameplay that I got legit like an hour ago and tell you guys the mindset that I have when I was getting this MGB Nuke gameplay. Hope you guys are loving the video. Make sure you guys do drop a like, because tips and tricks videos do not do well on my channel. I'm more of an entertainer than anything else. So getting, up to 10,000 likes and seeing this video do well will definitely persuade me to do even more of these videos in the future. Hopefully I've been doing a good job. Let me know by, in the comment section below if I'm doing okay for you. And let's get to that gameplay breakdown. Okay, so here's my live reaction, my live gameplay breakdown of this Vel 46 gameplay I just got an hour ago. And I want to use the Vel 46 because it's an SMG, it's for use for close quarters combat, and you guys can see that I don't use it well in certain situations where it can't be used as an SMG. AR is going to take it out at longer ranges. It does have some, freedom to kind of get longer ranges, but you got to be smart with the gun at the same time. And then I also got Farm 18. I would have loved a map like El Asilo or Torok or something, a bit of a bigger map, so there's more like thought involved. Farm 18 is a little bit of a smaller map, so there is a little less thought involved, but there is still some strategy to what I'm doing here. So you guys can see here, just to, I'm gonna stop things so I can actually explain. My teammates are on the point, and as we just saw, the enemies were spawning right here. We're currently spawning on the other side of the map, so I know the enemies are going to keep spawning around here, or some might be flanking around on either of the sides of the map. So I'm going to pretty much hold this middle area down to be ready for those incoming enemies. So that's what you guys are going to see here. I also have my UAV, so it's easier to kind of predict these enemies. So right there, I knew he was going to come in. Right there, I knew that this enemy was going to come in as well because of the UAV pings. And I see this dude is flanking around, so I'm like, all right, my teammate's going to handle him. And my teammates handle them, as you can see from the bottom left of the kill feed on the screen. One thing to keep in mind is the kill feed is really, coming in clutch. As soon as you see a teammate's name and you see that they were engaging with somebody, you know that enemy is taken care of, at least for the most part, unless there's like a ghosted enemy. And also remember, even with the UAV up, I can also see the compass. When you don't have your UAV up, make sure you pay attention to the compass so that even when they're shooting unsilenced weapons, you can see them on the compass. Some people don't know this. That's why the compass is very important. Right there, I sound hoarded these enemies. I see these dudes all over the UAV ping. That dude was luckily throwing a nade, and that dude just left the game because he knew that I was already streaking. He was tryharding in the beginning, and then I guess he was just done with me at that point. But yeah. From here, I have my dead silence on. I had my UAV on. I'm 1 kill off my advanced UAV. I see that a lot of people have left the game for some weird reason, but it's all good. We keep calm, and we have our advanced UAV. We are playing the game fast. We don't want these enemies to already have ghosts, and that's the advantage of having timed perks. The good players will have their ultimate perk already, while the bad players who are using ghosts, they won't have ghosts until like the mid tier of the game. So advanced UAV is at its fullest capability right now, as well as UAVs, which is why I'm so rush happy trying to body these opponents. So from here, it's more of just like reading where the enemies are spawning. Like I know that they just, I just killed the dude right here. This dude just spawned right here, so he's gonna have no idea that I'm right next to him. And then I can, after killing him, I can go to this dude. So it's all just a matter of like reactionary decisions. That's all it is. It's all decision making. It's a game of chess. You're making moves in quick succession, but you're trying to figure out on the fly what move you should make according to what's happening on the map. And right there, they just keep spawning right here. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get them on the flank right here. Luckily, or unluckily, I didn't know that he had a riot shoot up there, so I was kind of giving my position away right there. So I was like, that's a bad place to push. Let me go around once again, because they know I'm coming from there. So I'm coming around from the flank. They might not have a look at me, but right there, that was an embarrassing death for me. I couldn't even believe this death, honestly. And that's just Call of Duty. That's just Call of Duty. Sometimes you will have a BS death like that. Right there, I took a second to just kind of process that. And I'm not going to win every gunfight. Right there, I kind of stopped shooting because I thought he was dead. So I wanted to be ready for the next opponent, but I shouldn't have stopped shooting. I should have kept shooting. And sometimes you just got to live and learn. Right there, he just had the upper hand on me. He reacted, and he shot enough bullets to body me, even though he, like, quickly stopped. I don't know, it's really weird the way these gameplays go, but it's all good. Once again, I know that the enemies are kind of spawning here, and the reason I know that they were spawning there, let me go back a bit. The reasons I know the enemies were spawning here is because this is a very common spawn point right here, and I see that my teammates are all over the hard point, and I know where the hard point is. So the enemies are either going to be around this line of sight, or they're going to be in the back of the map right here, or they're going to be flanking around to get to the hard point the other way. So with this being a very common spawn point and none of my enemies really being in close proximity to me besides this dude, I was assuming that there's going to be a good amount of plentiful enemies like right there, basically. So now that I got my UAV, I no longer have to really like predict where the enemies are at. The UAV just kind of comes in clutch. I follow the red dots. Right there, dude was just hanging around for some reason. Maybe he was trying to shoot down the helicopter or something. But as you guys can see, the helicopter is pinging the enemies. You know, I have the little red pings on the map because of my Overwatch helo, like right there. The Overwatch helo kind of pinged somebody that was here. I don't know if he killed them or something, but I know there's enemies around this area, even if I didn't have my UAV up, showing me that there were enemies already here. So that's why I love the Overwatch helo. It really comes in clutch for situations like this. Right there, I just wanted to get the double kill and leave because, you know, teammates were there, teammates get in the way. And if you want to get more kills sufficiently, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm always away from my teammates. If you want to get more kills and you're not afraid of, you know, versing 1v1s or 1v2s, but you also have to be cautious about those 1v3s and 1v4s, then stay away from your team. As long as you're away from your teammates, that's where your enemies are going to be. That's how you're going to get more kills. You want to be aggressive. You want to know, you know, the common spawn points. Like right here, this is a very common spawn point, and that's how I was able to get a very easy quad feed, just kind of knowing where my enemies are at. So now I know that these enemies are on the hard point right now. I see that all my teammates are like around this area, so it's kind of obvious where the enemies are going to be at. They're going to be around this area, all around the back of the building here, and then also probably spawning on the top right corner of the map right there. So I'm just kind of biding my time, trying to, you know, get a direction. I see, oh, yep, I was right. They are spawning on the top right corner of the map. I couldn't reach that gunfight, though, because obviously that's a long range for an SMG. So I said, you know what? I don't want to engage in that gunfight. I noticed that my ammo, you also want to be very, very observant of your ammo. I only had 25 bullets and none reserve. So be wary of your ammo, you know. That's also something very important that you got to, you know, take into account. You know, use that ammunition box where you need. I got the advanced UAV now, so it's pretty much easy mode here. As long as I don't mess up another gunfight. I could have had an easy double MGB this gameplay, but it's all good. You know, we make mistakes, and I'm here to learn from my mistakes, and you're here to learn from my mistakes as well. But from here, it's just about using the movement, predicting how my enemies are going to approach the objective. And that's another thing. Do keep in mind, in a public match multiplayer setting lobby, you're going to have enemies that are going for the objective, enemies that are going to just go for kills, and enemies that are going for camo challenges. So you're going to have all sorts of situations. In this game in specific, it seems that a lot of these enemies were very focused on the objective, so this was kind of an easier gameplay. Other annoying gameplays are the ones where people are going for camo challenges, so they keep camping in the back of the map. You can't really predict that. So sometimes the nuke is out of your control, and you got to realize that you're not going to drop a nuke every single game. You can drop a nuke most games, but you gotta realize that Call of Duty isn't always going to go your way. I've had days where I didn't even drop a nuke. It's just, you know, something you just gotta get used to, you know, the highs and lows of Call of Duty. Right there, I had a drop shot. Make sure you're taking advantage of your movement for whatever situation that matters. Right here, I saw that they were on top of the hard point, so I'm like, let me use the drill charge, using my equipment to my advantage to go ahead and drill charge them. I didn't get a kill, but I did damage them to get them off the map there. Once again, I'm low on ammo. Like, let me go back again. You see that I have no ammo. So I was looking at my ammo. I'm like, okay, I need some ammo. Let me go ahead and get some ammo from my munitions box. You always gotta be worried about your ammo, where your enemies are positioned, where your teammates are positioned. Right here, I know that they're spawning behind me, so I'm trying to be very wary, and that's why I kind of jumped right there, because I thought there was somebody else behind me. And once again, I knew that the enemies were there because I was looking at my minimap, and I'm like, my teammates are kind of like in this area. There's teammates in the middle, teammates on that one lane, so I know enemies are going to be coming from this lane / this side of the map. It's just all prediction at the end of the day of where your teammates are at, where you're at, and that's how you're going to know where your enemies are at, even without a UAV. Right here, I have no UAV, so I already know that the enemies are going to be coming down that lane once again. So I'm going to throw a chill charge. Hopefully I get a kill. And right there, I get a kill. Because I know they're spawning over there. And it's all just a matter of prediction. People are like, how did you know he was there? I, 1, sound hoarded them. 2, I have great intuitive guessing. And intuitive guessing is all you really need when it comes to Call of Duty. Right there, I know, okay, I knew there was somebody above me. So keep in mind, there was no UAV until like right after that red dot was shot. But as you guys will see here, somebody's above me, or at least somebody's in this location. I sound hoard them, and they sound like they're above me. And people usually camp on top of here. So I'm just like, oh, okay, I guess he's above me. So I'm going to go up top here, make sure I see where this enemy is at. And there he is. He was above, just not right here in this immediate building that I'm on. But he was in a higher setting. So it's just like, you got to be pretty much aware of your surroundings and you know, your environment, and you'll get an MGB nuke. And there you go. I got my MGB nuke. So I was thinking, like, you know what? Now that I got one MGB nuke with the Vel 46, why don't I pull out an AR and show you guys the situations where an AR is going to have more advantage? Because obviously with the Vel 46, you can only do so much with the Vel 46. The Vel 46 is going to have amazing capability in short/medium ranges, but at longer ranges, that's where it's going to fall short, and you want to be smart with your decision making there. The Kastov 7.62, it's an AR, so it's a lot more built for longer range situations and kind of holding like a position down. Right there, that dude just spawned right there, so there's no way it's going to win that gunfight. But it's all good. You know, we already have our nuke. I'm just trying to like play the situation out here. So as you guys can see, I wasn't with the Vel on this house right here. I wasn't on this house that much with the Vel 46. Because with the Vel 46, there's no telling if I could have gotten like an enemy from this range. Now that I have the Kastov 7.62, I have a different mindset where like, this is an AR. This has certain strengths that the Vel 46 didn't have. So I quickly switched my mindset from having an SMG to now having an AR. And thus I'm kind of holding a position here where I know the Kastov 7.62 is going to have advantages. Because if those dudes had SMGs right there, there's no way they're winning those gunfights. So just by staying up here, I already have like a crazy advantage. I'm kind of taking a risk pushing this dude, but luckily he was looking in the wrong way. And right there, I already knew that dude was coming up because I saw him from the UAV. So right here, you got to be looking at the UAV immediately after getting a kill. So right there, the UAV pinged the enemy coming from up top. So I'm like, oh, okay, I guess this dude's coming up. Let me be ready for this dude. And there you go. So it's just like I said, a matter of prediction, knowing how to outplay your opponents, and knowing the strengths of your gun, and knowing the layout of the map. You know, use the equipment, use the little vantage points to your advantage, no pun intended, and just know how to sort of rotate in a sense. And this was Farm 18, you know, it's a bit of a smaller map, so it's a little easier to kind of control. As you can see, also, I do ADS a lot, even when I don't know if somebody's around, just because ADSing before turning a corner is going to give you an advantage because you don't have to spend the time sprint to firing speed, you know, getting out of sprint and then going into ADS form to go ahead and get that kill. But right here, I just did not predict that dude still being there. I thought he was just blindly going into the objective, but he was just looking down that lane, and I easily got killed right there. If I kind of anticipated that, which was hard to anticipate, I probably wouldn't have died there, but it's all good. Right here, I'm just getting some extra kills to kind of get up my kill counter. And if you guys are wondering why haven't I called in my MGB, I want to get as many kills as possible. You know, makes the gameplay a lot more entertaining. If I'm able to get a double nuke for the video, that would be pretty cool. But unfortunately, you know, my teammates are just very heavy on the objective. As you guys can see on the left, there is pretty much, there's still 3 minutes in the game left, but my teammates and the enemies are just on the objective 24/7 in this lobby, so unfortunately I didn't have time to get a double MGB, though I did choke the double MGB in the beginning of the game. But there you guys have it. Make sure you guys drop a like in the video, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. If you guys want me to do something like this but for a different map with a different gun, let me know in the comment section below. I'm telling you right now, get this video to 10,000 likes, because tips and tricks videos, I just don't know if this video is going to do well for you guys, or do well for me, I should say. But it's definitely going to do well for you guys. You know, everybody's trying to get the MGB Nuke calling card. This is just one MGB, you know, to get. You still got to get 9 more to get the full MGB mastery. But that is a little bit of my mindset of how to play the game. You know, make sure you're fully healed, know what kill streaks to run, know what you're comfortable with. You'll end up getting some pretty nice gameplays like I do here with a 72 and 7. And hopefully this video helped you guys. Make sure you guys stay tuned on my channel for improved class setups, and you guys can learn by watching my gameplays. But hopefully this video brought you some value, and hopefully it wasn't a drag. I don't know how this video is gonna do. If this video flops, I'm never doing a tips and tricks video ever again. So watch the video the whole way through and give me feedback, because videos like these are very valuable to you guys, and you know, I don't know if they're gonna be valuable to me. So be real ones. Let me know what your favorite gun is in Modern Warfare 2, and let me know how many MGB nukes you have. And have I helped you get your first MGB nuke? I know some viewers have said they got their first MGB nukes using my tips and my class setups. So whoever is new watching this video, I hope this helps you a ton. Good luck on that MGB nuke calling card. You guys are beautiful and amazing, and keep being big ballers. I love you all. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want to see these gameplays live, then make sure you guys follow me on my Kick stream at kick.com/themarkoverhero. I interact with the chat, and we have a good old time roasting ragers and nuking fools. I also stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/themarkofaHero, and you'll see a lot of the same action on there. Also, if you guys want to see even more videos from me, check me out on my second channel, More Hero. On that channel, you guys will see Warzone 2 gameplay, store bundles, and other miscellaneous videos that aren't here on the main channel. Also subscribe to my third channel, Hero No Commentary, where you can see raw Call of Duty gameplay from me, with no face cam, no commentary, or anything like that. Just some chill COD ASMR. I'm also a partner of G Fuel, a gaming and energy drink performance company. If you're ever low on energy before a gaming session, before an exam, you know, early in the morning, or you need to work out or whatever the case is, you can go ahead and take some G Fuel. You might see it in the background of my videos from time to time, and I definitely recommend them. If you're interested, you can go over to gfuel.com and use my code BALLER for a 20 to 30% discount, and be a true baller and save that money, while also enjoying an amazing drink. My favorites include Party Punch, Hype Sauce, and Peach Rings, but you guys can choose what you want. Thank you guys for making this partnership possible. I really love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for being a beautiful audience, and without further ado, I hope you guys have a good f***ing day. Stay awesome, and keep being big ballers. I love you all. Shout out to the channel members as well. You're incredible.